Hey guys, welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Mohammad Hashar, and in this video we'll be learning how to create a music streaming kind of service like Spotify using Glide without absolutely any programming whatsoever. Now this of course is to just show you what you can do, and how you can of course try to create something like a podcast application where you can upload your own or other people's, like curate different kind of podcasts into one application. Whatever you want, you can create that kind of app with Glide. Of course, you can do something similar with Bubble and with Webflow as well. If you're interested to know how to work with Bubble and Webflow, please be sure to request that in the comment section below so I can make a video on that. But this one is going to be for mobile only, so just so you know. So once you go to the glideapps.com, link will be in the description below. Again, if you don't know what Glide Apps is, it basically lets you create mobile-friendly web applications with Google Sheets. Okay, and as it says here, in 5 minutes, but I don't know about that, but it depends on your time. Now, there's one thing I wanna add before I begin with the actual creation, because it's really simple, the whole process. But the thing you need to think about is, okay, well, if you're gonna upload your own songs or own podcast, you need to have the files loaded in some kind of a server or database, right? So you can of course use Google Drive, but then Google Drive is not supported with Glide, and I'll talk about the reason why. What you need is a server or a place where you can upload the files, and which actually lets you get the direct link to that file. Like for example, like in this case, you'll be able to upload MP3 and WAV files. Okay, those are the actual values, right? So I'm going to talk about the actual end product, because it's really important before you begin. I want to talk about this particular example here. Now, if I'm going to paste this link on the top, please look at here. Now, if the link that you generate out of any file sharing service is something like this, okay, it will not be supported. Why? Because your link needs to end with a file extension like .mp3 or .wav or whatever, but it shouldn't end like this. Okay, I'll take an example. One other way you can try is, like in this particular example. Okay, if I'm going to use this music here, and if you want to get a direct link, this will not work for every site, but this will work in a lot of cases. Okay, this will not work for cases like if you're going to download a music from Google Drive, and if you're going to try doing this will not work, but it does work for some of the public sites. Now, this is actually a few music archives, so yeah, I'm going to download this. Okay, now if you're using Google Chrome, it will work on any web browser. You want to go to the downloads here, click on show all, and right below here you can see the direct link here. Now, if you see here, it says it gives you a direct link. Now, if you actually enter this URL, it should actually either download or it should play the music. If it doesn't do any of those, then it means that you cannot use this file. Let me make this really clear. You need to get a file storing service that will give you a direct link. Google Drive and Dropbox do not give you that. They actually let you share files with somebody, but you cannot actually use that on your Glide and on your application. Okay. I'm not really sure about how the Dropbox Premium works, because I don't use it. So if it gives you a direct link again, then it's fine. Otherwise, and also it does need to end with .mp3 like this. Okay. I hope I made that really clear. And also, one of the sites I came across is called gofile.io. This is one of the places you can go and upload your files. And I think, yes, it does give you a direct link. However, there's a problem. Okay, now this site is primarily run by donations, so I'm not going to give you the link in the description for this video, because chances are that by the time you're watching this video, unfortunately, just let's hope it doesn't, but there are a lot of chances this site may disappear someday. And the reason for that is because it's completely free, and the reason it's free is because it's all maintained by our donations. So I don't know how long this website will stay. But there are so many sites out there. The easiest and the most let me give you some ideas on where you can upload your files. You can upload your files on WordPress. That's one of the easiest ways, of course. You can just create a blog, and then on the media section you can start uploading your files. That will give you a direct link. That's one of the easiest places you can do it. And the most the most obvious way I can say is the most safest way is to use your own server. Okay, which is like go to hosting or GoDaddy.com and purchase a hosting and start uploading your files there. Then you can get your files. Okay, so that way you're only spending money for your own hosting, and hosting doesn't cost too much. Okay, so just giving you ideas on how and where you can upload your files. So once you go ahead, let's go ahead and begin with the Glide application itself. Now let's go ahead and create a new app. Before I create a new app, you need to create a new sheets, because actually that's where your files reside. Now let's call this, for the sake of this, is Spotify. It's not really Spotify clone. But yeah, it's going to be basically what Spotify lets you do. But you're not gonna have things like advertisements and stuff. Of course, you can add it, but it won't work exactly as how this thing works. Oh, I need to add some value. Okay, so first I'll add a categories. Let's go ahead and get the database created. So actually, I'm just gonna add some values in Google Sheets, and it's gonna create the database for itself. So categories, and then I'm gonna have my songs. This is just gonna be songs. Okay. And then also I'm gonna have things like now favorites and stuff is already added, so you don't really have to add it. Okay, don't worry about that. For maybe artists, you can also do that. Now the actual okay, so let's go ahead and start adding categories here. Now I'm gonna add name and then a album art. So it's like or cover or whatever. And song is gonna be so the name of the song, title of the song, whatever, title of the song. And then you're gonna have the artist, and then you're gonna have an album if you want to have it, okay. And then you're also gonna have every song is gonna also have a what else? Oh, of course, the file itself, which is the file URL. By the way, if you guys don't know already, the first row is taken as the data set or the columns that you're going to have. So these are going to be basically the parameters, and underneath are the values that you'll add. Okay, the first row is, you can also bold this and make this like really clear and stand out, so your users know that this is basically where not your users, but just for yourself. Okay, so next thing is what else you may need. Maybe a description. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some description. And well, you know what, actually, so this is going to be a separate screen. Now, by the way, creating a new sheet means creating a new screen. So let's go ahead and album or an artist. For that, I say name and then his picture. Okay, it will be a URL of the picture. By the way, you can upload files on Google Sheets, but actually you can upload files on Glide. Actually, I'll show you how to do that as well. The next thing is actually a reference, but before I do that, I think if you guys have not used Glide, first let's go ahead and create a new app now. Let's call this Spotify. Okay, then I'm gonna click on select. And deja vu, already we have a application, and then you can also allow users to add songs, but that would be a little crazy because Glide does not allow submission of files. It only allows you to create, allow input of static files. So let's go ahead and start, plugging in some actual icons. Like, it looks crazy here, so I don't really know if we have an icon for categories, but let's find something closely similar or closely relevant to that. I'm gonna look for something close to categories. Actually, I'm going to choose something like a grid icon. Should be nice. Yep, there you go. So there you go, categories. An artist is like a person, like people, come on, user. Yeah, there you go, an artist. And songs are like music. There you go. So now we have some beautiful icons. Now you know Spotify is something really dark and music is really cool if it keeps like if you keep it something like this. So let's change the color to something like purple, and then now we have our application now, but then we have not actually started working on the values. So let's go ahead and add some songs here. So let's go ahead and add the first song, which is from the music archive. I'm going to choose something called Wild Light. Okay. And who is the artist of this song? Is I don't know. It says Quicksand, but let's go ahead and add that. I don't know if that's the name of the album or whatever. It's just a copyright-free source. So I'm gonna for the sake of this album, I'm gonna call this FMA, which is Free Music Archive, and the URL. Well, oops. I'm gonna open this here, and I'm gonna copy the direct link again, like I said, and then I'm gonna paste it over here. Now description, I'm gonna leave that like I'm just gonna give it like 3 dots, okay, but you can add your own description if you want to, and of course like make this pretty as you want, like give it some space here and all that, but that doesn't really make any difference on the Glide app. Okay, now here's what the thing is that how we're gonna use categories and stuff. Before I do that, first let's go ahead and make things all right with the songs here. Let's go ahead and check out some values here. On the songs we have one song, and now this is not the ideal kind of view I want. I want something like not tiles, maybe columns. So this is the kind of view I want, and the image is going to be the album art. No, not really. I'm gonna have actually, you know what? We forgot to add a value for the album. I mean the what do you call that? Thumbnail? I'm sorry, I don't forgot what is the terminology for that. Oops. So I think we forgot to add thumbnail. So let's go ahead and reload sheet again. Yep. So over here, image is going to be coming from the thumbnail. We're gonna add the value later. Okay. Details of the song is going to come from the. Maybe I'm gonna add the artist here. Is this over here? Artist name, and the title will be the title of the song, which is Wildlight. Okay. Now, of course, you can of course add thumbnail, but if you don't have it, you will actually view it there. Now you can, of course, it doesn't make any sense here, but if you want to display instead of an image here, if you want to show something like a location, you can also use map from address as a thumbnail. Okay, so you can of course enable or disable images. Email filter, by the way, is something really important, and I forgot to add. Let's say you want to have the ability for users to be able to store favorites and like have their own section of songs, like I don't know how I can say, like something like where they can add where they can create their own list, like a to-do list or whatever, and something that is different for each user. I don't know if that makes sense. Like this one is, if I'm going to share this application, everybody's going to see Wildlight. Okay, then what if users want to see their own collection? Now they can form their own collection, and only they will be able to access that. If you want to do something like that, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that the sign in is you need to make sure that the people are going to be able to sign in with email. Okay. Now, of course, you don't have to create this, but by default, when you start actually shipping it out and people start signing up, you'll see another sheet added here where you can see all the users you have, and then I think their email address as well, and when did they last sign in. Yeah. So let's go ahead and proceed. Now, the first thing you want to do is, as you can see here, the album, artist, and all of this is added here. Let's go ahead and title is the title of the song. Details is we're going to add the name of the artist. Image, by the way, is going to be the thumbnail, which we don't have in this case, but if you have an image, it will actually display there. Well, let's go ahead and remove the artist value here because we already have it on the summary. Now the thing is, if you check this out, it basically just displays it says it's audio, but you can't really play it because it's just a simple value. But I'm going to delete this. As you can see in the basic here, you can also play music podcast from here. So the audio is going to come from the file URL, and as you can see over here, let's go ahead and remove this one or the previous one. Okay, yeah. So there you have the music. Okay, let's go ahead and add some album art here because it looks crazy without it. I'm just going to take like this for the sake of this thing. So let's go ahead and add a thumbnail to this thing. It looks better if we have thumbnails. Okay. So if I reload the sheet, we should see the image coming up. Okay. Why not? Oh, I forgot to save it. Okay, I'm sorry. There you go. So let's go ahead and preview this. I don't know if you can hear it, but it works, and you can of course play the music here. Now that's basically the music itself. You can add as many songs as you want to. This is how you add songs. Is that now you can just simply, like select all of this and copy, then paste it, and then you can start changing the values here, and then that will be it. That's pretty much how you add songs. But now let's go ahead and go into these two things, which is categories and an artist. Now the thing is that this is the basic idea here is to teach you how to add a categorization. Of course, you have the guide on the documentation as well, but I want to show you in my video just to illustrate the different possibilities. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So let's go ahead and add some categories here. Now, the categories, the first one might be something like motivational, okay, and then maybe we want to have something like rap, jazz. You can have as many categories as you want. I think this will be almost infinite. Something like, and for the sake of this video, I'll just stop with this. Okay, I know it's crazy, but yeah, you have infinite number of categories, but yeah, you can. So for an artist, I'm gonna add FMA. They're one of them. Picture. I don't want to add a picture for now, but I want to show you. You can add a picture, of course. As many artists as you want to, like Backstreet Boys. Some of my favorite artists. Oh, Deja. Yeah, just keep going. Now the thing is, artists we have. I mean, the artist is Quicksand in this case. And actually, there is nobody with the name Quicksand. Let's go ahead and add these categories. Guess what? We don't have the album thing here. That's the album. Let's go ahead and add one more section here, which is category. I think category is different from album, right? Yeah. Of course, you can have multiple audios there. Of course, you can have multiple sections, and you can keep adding those values from here. Now, this is how you customize individual. You can of course add comments, and if you want to add favorites, you can also add the feature to add favorites, like this. What is the key that you want to save, which is like thing. So I can just go in here. Now, if the user wants to add this to the favorites, just click on this, and then that will be added automatically. So I didn't configure this, so it will not work yet. Okay, but yeah. So just so you know, you can now add things to your favorites, and you can see over here. This looks weird. I mean, favorites does not work like this, right? The reason, I mean, what the Glide team said is that they just wanted to test this feature if all of us want it, but in the future, we're gonna have an icon somewhere here, okay? So don't worry about that. Now, the next thing I want to do is, let's go ahead and add some category, which in this case is FMA, I guess. FMA, I'm sorry, motivational. Motivational. I don't know if this music is actually motivational, but just for the sake of illustration. Alright, now, the thing we want to know is that, look at this. So we have the name here. When I click on this, I want to open all the songs with who have this category of motivational. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the songs, okay? Now the thing is, if we want to we want to get all the songs that have this name called motivational. In this case, like whatever is the value that corresponds to this, okay? First thing we want to do is we want to refer songs equal to. This is the value that we're gonna use for this value. This is the actual name of this field. But if you're gonna have is equal to, the value of the songs will be the name of the sheet. In this case, it's also songs. Okay. Now you're gonna refer to the name of the column. which is, I think, its category. And now we also want to say multiple, because there are going to be multiple songs that have the same tag of motivational. So I'm going to make this bold, and let's make this it looks a little better. So anywhere the name motivational comes in, that way this song will come up. So we're going to do something similar to this, except artists. Here we're going to have, instead of category, we're going to have artist, right? So let's go ahead and add artists. I don't know what did I give? Okay, just copy this, okay, and then make this bold. It's not necessary to make it bold. It doesn't really matter. All those are Excel sheets thing. Okay, so there you go. We have the section here. Now let's go ahead and check out if this works. But yep. Now this won't work directly, but okay. The list is songs, and you can see over here, wherever you have the title of motivational, it will work. Alright, so let's check out what we did wrong. Let's go check out the artist section. I think it's called Quicksand, if I'm correct. The list is songs. Title is the title of the song. Details is description. Of course. Image is going to be the thumbnail. Something similar here. Let's go ahead and change the title to title of the song, details to description, and then image to thumbnail. Now we have actually the basic format. It should work like this, but I think what the mistake that I'm making is where it goes to which category. Like, so let's go ahead and add, a couple of songs. Like, okay, so let's go ahead and add something like motivational here, just for the sake of this. And then over here, another artist. I'm gonna make Quicksand here, just to test things out. Let's go reload the sheet. There you go. I'll tell you what the mistake that I made here is that, and let me give you guys a quick tip, okay? So just say what is this? A2. Basically what I'm doing is that I'm saying in this column, okay, whatever value comes over here, which is Quicksand, and if that value, okay, corresponds with the value of artist here in this sheet here, Quicksand, if these two match, then you will display that song, okay? We do something very similar to this over here. So say A3, that will say rap. Basically A3 is like A4, in this case jazz, so it's A4, that gives jazz value. So if you want to do something similar, it will be A2 here. So when I say is equal to A2, it is not the same as typing motivational, because if I change something like motivationals, it will automatically change the value here. So just so you know. Oops, and let me go back to here. So if you want to check this out now, motivational, you can see the songs. I click on this, now you're here. So that's how you can add songs here. Now of course you can change the values. These are all the songs you have. Artists. So I hope now you can add more songs to each of these artists, and then it will work out. Just so you want to know how to do it again, let me show you another example. I'm going to add one more song, which is probably something like let's go and add something like Uncan, just to show you with different categories and a different artist for the sake of this video. I need to download this Uncan. Okay, I don't really need the song, it's just that I need the link to the song, so I'm gonna copy link address and I'm gonna paste it over here. Another something like that. Thumbnail, I'm gonna take another random image. I don't know, the kitchen, the most boring image ever. Like for this song, I'm sorry about it. By the way, I actually know to I actually cook, so it's not like I hate cooking or whatever. For the sake of this category, I'm gonna say that this is a jazz song. Not really. I don't know. It's called Uncan, I guess. And let's give the artist as for the sake of this, it's actually FMA again. But let's give this guy Odessa just for the sake of this. Now, you can also add YouTube videos, just so you know. It's that you need instead of file URL, it will be a YouTube URL. It will be a lot easier even for users to add songs if they want to. Album, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because we're not really matching album here. We don't really have an album screen, but you can add another section called albums, and you can and that if you want to. So let's go ahead and check out Odessa, which actually has a value here. Okay, looks like we didn't get it right. So where did we go wrong? Artist is Odessa. Let's go ahead and copy that and then paste it again. I hope I got that right. Album this is jazz. Let's check out categories on the jazz. Okay, Uncanny does show up here, but it doesn't show up on artist. Well, what did we do wrong? So artist. Okay. So we forgot to like add all the values here, which is a 3, and that's a 4. Yeah, that should work. Go to our data. We have this beautiful. And by the way, just make sure you order this correctly. So yeah, there you go. So there you have the songs. Now you can add podcasts. You can of course even add things like a YouTube video or other people to add their own description, summary, or whatever. You can also have things like getting people's opinions or choice. So much things you can do with that. Okay, so that's like a very preliminary or very basic Spotify clone for you guys. But you can do a lot of crazy things with it. I mean, at least in the future, I guess. But yeah, this is the base. This is what you can create. And you can create your own podcast or music streaming service like this. And if you guys like this video, again, if you want to know how to compile this, okay, all you have to do is you can actually share this URL with anybody and they can access this website. You can of course change the URL, or if you actually purchase the premium version of paid version of Glide, you can export this as a native application for both iOS and Android and then ship it. Okay. If you don't want to do that, you can also add a custom domain name and then like ship this as a mobile website other people can access. And of course, you can, if you actually try this on your phone, you can see that you can actually add a custom shortcut to your home screen, and it actually more or less behaves like an actual native application. If you actually try this on the phone, okay, it actually feels like an actual application. This doesn't feel like a web application actually. But yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe to this channel, and we have a lot of great content coming in the future. So please be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and visit my website at hasher.in, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.